करते हुए मैं अपनी बात को यहाँ पर समाप्त करते हुए फिर एक बार इस बिल को समर्थन करता हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
श्री Premachandran.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chairman sir, for affording me this opportunity to take part in the discussion on the Chartered Accountants, the Cost and Works Accountants and the Company Secretaries Amendment Bill 2021. Sir, I rise to oppose this bill because this bill has come into discussion for or debate only because of the statement of the Honorable Prime Minister when he was speaking at the ICA, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India Foundation Day. He told the Chartered Accountants that their signatures were more powerful than that of the Prime Minister and urged them to introspect and improve their standards. The Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji has also highlighted ICA's embarrassing disciplinary record wherein only 25 errant auditors had been prosecuted over the past 11 years and 1,400 cases were pending. This is the real cause by which, root cause by which this bill is generated. The only question, the prime question which I would like to ask to the Honorable Minister is whether this bill, that is the proposed amendment bill, is sufficient to meet the purpose of Honorable Prime Minister, or in order to commit the Honorable Prime Minister's words in the ICA day, whether it is sufficient to meet the purpose. Sir, according to me, no. Why? Because all these three organizations, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, and Institute of Works and Cost Accounts of India, and Institute of Company Secretaries of India, all these three organizations are the creations or the statutes of the Parliament. They are independent, autonomous bodies. What is the proposed amendment in the bill? In the bill, all these three professional bodies of chartered accountants and cost accountants and company secretaries have to be there, their powers have to be limited. That is Chartered Accountant Act of 1949 and Cost Accountants Act of 1959 and Company Secretaries Act of 1980. All these three acts have to be amended, making the regulating the professions of chartered accountants, cost accountants, and company secretaries. So the proposed amendments are with an intent to place the chartered accounting under considerable scrutiny with more regulatory control and thereby to strengthen the disciplinary mechanism of the chartered accountants. Sir, chartered accountants in the country play a very important role in the preparation and audit of financial statements, while company secretaries plays a vital role in strict compliance of the statutes. That is the role of the company secretaries. The major concern which I would like to express regarding this amendment bill is most of the honorable members have already stated in this house, that is regarding the autonomy. Sir, from 2014 onwards, after BJP-led NDA government has come to power, they are trying or attempting to encroach into the autonomous bodies, encroaching into all other organizations to have their authority on all independent autonomous organizations. We have seen in the case of Medical Council, National Medical Commission Act is also, if you examine it, nowadays it is everything is being controlled and guided and regulated and decided by the government of India because their representatives are controlling the National Medical Commission. Similarly, this executive is imposing and encroaching into various autonomous institutions. This is another typical example by which the government of India is encroaching into the autonomous character of all these three organizations. So that is the main apprehension and opposition which I would like to make. Sir, these three institutions are having self-governing exercise of self-professional institutes. They are self-professional institutes or bodies. As rightly pointed, no money or no budgetary grant is from the government. My concern that the autonomy of the professional bodies are under attack. So slowly the government is taking control of all these institutions, just like in the case of the National Medical Commission Bill. Sir, what is the role of self-governing professional bodies? Sir, I would like to quote the speech or observations made by the chairman of the Finance Standing Committee, Sri Jain Singha ji, in the Standing Committee. I would like to quote it. The autonomy and independence of the professional institutions should not be interfered unnecessarily. The integrity associated with the financial reporting cannot be diminished in any way since it reflects the business standards and financial robustness for the entire country. This is the observation of the Standing Committee Chairman, Sri Jain Singha, in the Standing Committee. I have got it from the records. So if that be the observation of the Chairman of the Standing Committee of Finance Committee, they have scrutinized the bill. How can the Standing Committee agree with the provisions of this bill? That is a pertinent question which I would like to make, because autonomy shall never be interfered unnecessarily. Here, interference or unnecessary interference of the executive on the professional autonomous body is there. So how can Jain Singha, as the chairman of the Standing Committee, is making a very clear observation regarding the autonomous character of all these organizations, and at the same time supporting this bill means it is squarely contradiction to the observation which he has already made. So, sir, let us examine the crucial amendments which are being proposed in the bill. The crucial amendments, the first amendment is, I am confining to only 3 amendments. The first amendment is regarding section 9A. A new provision is incorporated, section 9A, by which constituting a coordination committee. Sir, coordination committee, what is the constitution of the coordination committee? Sir, the coordination committee's constitution is the president, vice president, and secretaries of all these 3 organizations: Chartered Accountants Organization, Cost Accountants Organizations, Company Secretaries Institute. All these 3 organizations, president, vice president, and the secretaries, all these will be the members of the committee. And who is chairing the committee, sir? The chairman of the committee is the secretary of the Corporate Affairs, Ministry of the Corporate Affairs. Sir, it is shameful. Is it independent? Is it autonomous character of an organization? The ministry, the company secretary, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs secretary will be chairing this body, all the 3 organizations. And the name of it is coordination. And what is the purpose? The corporate affairs for the development and harmonization of the professions of chartered accountant, this cost accountants, and the company secretaries. And since I have no time, if you, sir, examine section 9A, what are the powers, the functions of all 3 organizations are totally regulated by the executive. That is the Minister, Secretary, Corporate Affairs. He is the chairman, he is regulating, and he is not only regulating, he is controlling. So, first objection, the strong objection is regarding 9A. Section 9A, new section is incorporated. It is totally against the autonomy of all these organizations, number 1. Number 2, amendment of section 21. Since no time, I am not going to the sections, reading the sections. That is the disciplinary directorate. Sir, I fully agree with that amendment, because a new provision for the appointment of at least 2 new joint directors to deal with the disciplinary cases. Because I have no objection in this. Because why? Because this will enhance the capacity of the disciplinary directorate to deal with the complaints, and also fixing a time frame by which these petitions or the complaints or informations have to be disposed of within a fixed time. I fully agree with that amendment. I am coming to another controversial amendment, is amendment to section 21A. Sir, you may kindly see Board of Discipline. As per the proposed amendment, the Board of Discipline, who will be the Board of Discipline? The chairman, the presiding officer, and 1 member of the Board of Discipline will be nominated by the central government. Board of Discipline, the chairman and 1 member will be from the institute. And the chairman and 1 member shall not be a member of the institute. He shall never be a member of the institute and who is having law experience and all these things. And coming to, sir, amendment to section 21B, that is disciplinary committee. So disciplinary committee, in which it is saying the presiding officer and 2 other members are nominated by the central government who are not in the members of the institute. What is the independent and autonomous character of all these organizations? The chairman, the presiding officer, as well as 2 members of this disciplinary committee who are not the members of the chartered accountants, who are not the members of this institution, they will be governing the disciplinary committee. Means what is the role of this institution? Independence, autonomy. Sir, ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, is having a long tradition and having larger strength, nearly 3.5 lakh members and 7.5 lakh students are there. Their main, the main concern of this Chartered Accountants Institute, I am having it detailed, since there is no time, I am concluding, sir. So their main concern is the presiding officer of the disciplinary committee should be a chartered accountant. And present mechanism, there are 5 members. Present mechanism, there are 5 members. 2 from the institute, 2 from the government of India, and 1 from the president. That is 2 government nominees are already there. And you may kindly see all decisions during the 72 years. All these 72 years, all the decisions are taken unanimously. Not even a single instant of dissent was there. The presence of the government nominee is mandatory for quorum. As per the present provisions of the Act, even the presence of a government nominee is must for having the quorum of the meeting. And sir, the president, vice president, the CCM are elected representatives of the chartered accountants and are accountable and subject to public scrutiny. In this act, it is being stated, the statement saying that they are no having accountability. Because they are being elected representatives of the chartered account, they are subject to accountable and also they are subject to the public scrutiny. Sir, this practice is since 72 years without any complaints. In the system now, the government is normal. So in this case, all these cases, nominees are acting as the umpire. The government nominees are acting as the umpire. This was the position. This was the precedent. So the conduct of the professionals, my point is, I'm concluding, the conduct of the professionals should be judged by the professionals only. This should be applicable to all the professions, the medical profession, legal profession. You are an advocate, eminent advocate. I'm also from the legal profession. Who is judging the capacity or the conduct or misconduct of an advocate? It is the Bar Council chairman or the Bar Council Disciplinary Committee. Who is heading it? It is by the lawyers. As far as the National Medical Commission, now we have enacted a law by which who is that? Majority of the disciplinary committee as far as the medical field is also doctors. Why in the case of chartered accountants alone it is not applicable? So here the conduct of the professionals should be judged by the professionals only. The National Medical Commission Act 2019, there is a disciplinary mechanism for the failure of the doctors by the majority of the doctors. The disciplinary committee, according to the National Medical Commission Act of 2019, majority of the disciplinary committee members are doctors. Yes, absolutely, because professionals are judges by the professionals. And similarly, the Bar Council of India also, none of these bodies are, and what is the reason? Conflict of interest. If you are saying conflict of interest, sir, if you are saying the conflict of interest, none of the organization, the autonomous organization in the countries can have any independence in the country. Because everywhere you can very well say that there is conflict of interest. So there are so many objections have already been given by this ICA. I'm not going to read all these things. And they are suggesting that the presiding officer of the disciplinary bench should be a chartered accountant. The present disciplinary mechanism is if any amendments, kindly come with the positive amendments. And the advantage of the present disciplinary system has to be kept in. The concerns of the proposed change envisaged in the bill, audit and accounting require highly specialized skill. High specialized skill is required as far as auditing and accounting. There you are putting a secretary or putting a joint director or some executive from the ministry and doing all these things means it is in violation of the basic principles of accounting and auditing which is being established and which is being continued for the last 72 years. Sir, I'm not going to, sir, thank you very much for giving me this much of time. And so my basic point is this is attacking the autonomy of the professional bodies like ICAWI and similarly Cost and Works Chartered Accountant of India as well as the Institute of Company Secretaries. Since it is against the basic principles of autonomy, I strongly oppose this bill with these suggestions. I once again thank you for giving me this much of time. Thank you very much, sir.
Sri Girish